Hello and welcome to the SC Playbook.
Oh, hang on, we fucked up. I need to give you a mic.
Can we include that as on this show?
You don't have a mic.
That's so good. I was like, why isn't that coming through? He's so loud.
G'day and welcome to the SC Playbook NFL podcast, proudly presented by Sasha Legal. I'm Jakob Funk and I'm joined by Josh Clutterbuck and Eden Richards, as I am each and every week. This week we're getting across week 16 of the NFL, just a few weeks to go now, and the schedule's starting to get a bit weird and wacky as well. But before we go any further talking about week 17, how did we go in week 16? I'll start with my nemesis, Klutz. You're just ahead of me.
Hey, mate. Yes, look, I'm going to say it's actually a bit of a shocking week. I had Devontae Adams and Rashee Rice not play because of injury, and I couldn't trade them out. I also had my emergencies, who are Golden and Wilson, not play. They just didn't score any points. JJ McCarthy got injured early. He might not be playing this week, which could royally screw me as well. Josh Allen didn't score any points. Trey McBride, who was my sole trade-in this week, scored a single-digit 9, which was really good for me.
Yeah, thanks for that, Josh.
That's all right. I pretty much... actually, I'd like to make a formal apology to the wider community for absolutely screwing that up. Who else we got here? St. Brown only got 14 points for me. Loop got 12, which is okay. The New England defense played pretty average, but still got double digits. The saving grace of my team this week was I was sitting there just pondering who should I captain and who should I put the VC on. Now, Smith and Jigba got 39, who I originally was going to put the VC on. Decided not to, just because I thought this is such a big game. Devontae Adams is out. Puka's there. Eden's been dribbling. So I decided to go with Puka. He ended up being my captain. Yeah. Got 81 points, which ended up being 162 and gave me 516 overall. Very, very happy with that. Harold Fannin did well for me as well. I went up a few ranks, and I'm now 2,051. I have no aspirations of going higher than that. I don't think I will. If I do for some reason, then everyone else has completely stuffed up their teams, just like I have with mine, and don't have trades left like myself. So, yeah, really, really good headspace for me coming into the last 2 weeks of this.
How about our high flyer over here? Dos, how you go?
Firstly, Klutzy, you're welcome around Puka. That was very satisfying watching him go off. And geez, he just kept saying it, didn't he?
Some good punts because of him as well.
Yeah, I think he'll be a popular choice this week with the C. I scored 556. Rankings gone up to 757, which I'm pretty happy about. All my running backs did well. CMC, Gibbs, Robinson, Taylor. Then I had Henry on my bench, score 45. So really happy around the running backs. Like you, I had St. Brown, and I had Nico Collins as well, who didn't do too well this week. My tight ends were disgusting, but luckily Drake Maye got it done once again, beating Baltimore and coming up clutch, which was bloody great to watch. And then, same as you, mate, had Puka with the VC. So looped him and got the captaincy points. Very glad I did, because I did toss up leaving the C on Allen and hoping for something special, which he did not deliver. So, all in all, pretty happy. Hoping I can keep climbing the leaderboard. By the end of the season, I'd love to be top 500. Yeah,
nice. It's good aspirations there.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same. I'm lucky to break 500 at the moment. So 503 for me this week. Shout out to my QBs. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson scored a combined 22 points. Some really, really strong stuff there. There's quite a number of players I could have started at literally any position and would have outscored the two of them. So they were absolutely terrible for me. So thanks for that, boys. Thankfully, I also VC'd Puka, which, I had the same thought in terms of Adams not playing, big game, just trust Stafford just to absolutely feed him. The absolute, that funnel offense. And also I was a little bit worried about JSN potentially in a big game. with what could happen to the Seahawks offense there. We've seen it a few times this year in those big games. They sort of shy away a little bit, but that wasn't the case. He did good, 39. Fannin as well, 34. Jefferson, 23 for me this week. Showed up. Thank you to him. So actually, there you go. He outscored Allen and Jackson combined. And then, I had 4 players score 9 for me this week. Javonte Williams, Mecca Ibuka, Trey McBride, and Lamar. So thanks, boys.
Jefferson's 23 equals his combined last 4 scores.
Yeah.
So
Jeez.
He's back, baby.
What a heroic performance. Never been more back. Can't wait to get him into my team again next year. Overall, I still saw green arrows though. Up 87 for the season. I'm up to 2177. So hopefully last couple of weeks can push for top 2000. Would be good. I think I'm about 20 behind you, Klutz, I think. 7705.
Might have to bin Lamar, mate, if you want that to happen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's
If you do anything but bin Lamar,
I think
you're an idiot.
I'm so like
he's so cheap now. He's 16 mil.
If I sell him, I get nothing. It's just
how much cap space do you have though?
Like 3 mil.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be able to find something.
Yeah.
You'll be able to find, a pile of dirt that could support more.
Mate, there are not enough trades in the world to put out all the fires on my team at the moment. But going on, make sure that you subscribe to the podcast the last few weeks. We're still bringing it to you throughout the season on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Give us a like on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at SC Playbook NFL. We've still got the weekly articles coming to you from these boys and the rest of the team of contributors for the rest of the season at scplaybook.com.au. And as well, make sure you subscribe to our subscription package. Less than $2 a week and you get access to premium content, extra articles, WhatsApp community league, prize money if you're in our unlimited league, all that and more. And plus with all the other sports coming back before too long as well, NRL, AFL, good idea to be subscribed. Coming up in a little bit as well, we'll have some Christmas wishes. So you've got that to look forward to. But before we get into that, boys, the outs for this week. Number one, and I think this is just, catastrophic situation, but Rashee Rice didn't play this week, but even if he comes back.
Joshua, how are we feeling?
If I could get rid of him, I probably would. However, I still think he's the number 1 receiver on their team and he's going to get targeted. So,
but can the quarterback actually hit him? That's the thing.
Well, I don't know who the quarterback is, but
I was going to say, can you pronounce his name?
You know what? I actually love these sort of scenarios when you get some absolute who the hell are you sort of bloke in there. Let's just go through and find what this fella's name is, because I have faith in Oladokan.
Oh my God.
When I saw his name, I thought he was I actually thought it was that basketball player. But
the first article that comes up is who is number 19 on the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Number 19, yeah.
I have all the faith of the world in Chris.
Let's just go with Chris.
Yeah, we're going to go with Chris. He is in 9 teams at the moment, and he's a real difference maker at 3.7 mil. The fact that Bailey Zapp isn't playing over him speaks volumes about how good Chris really is. No, obviously, if I probably could get rid of Rice, I'd definitely consider it, but it's these sort of things where towards the end of the year, I know Denver's pushing for playoffs. I think it's even worse now, actually, that Denver lost and that they're going to have to play against Denver after they got pumped by the Jags 2 weeks before finals, 3 weeks before finals. I do have faith, though, that Rice can score 20 points, and I'd be happy with that, to be perfectly honest.
Imagine how satisfying after past 5-6 years of the Chiefs just dominating this weekend will be for Denver if they can just put them away
on them, 3 pick sixes. I'd be so happy.
Jeez, it'd be
but then
very
again, we're coming up against a 2-time Super Bowl winner at QB. So a bit. Not the easiest old Chrissy. 7th round pick in 2022. So
shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Mahomes is number 2 as well, so you're bidding both of them.
Yeah, the Chiefs on a hat trick for torn ACLs at QB.
And if you own Travis Kelce for whatever reason, please get rid of him. He is horrendous.
If you're like just ahead of me in the rankings, please play him so I can leapfrog you and get into that top 2,000. But there's a bit of a flavour for QBs here. All getting binned at the moment.
The next one's pretty interesting, actually.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. What do we reckon?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
This is probably not how I'd put it with him being binned this year. He's been a steaming pile of you-know-what. So,
among just the biggest
disappointments,
or you could use any number of words to describe Lamar Jackson the last bunch of weeks. But he exited that game with against New England with 9 points. Thanks for that, Lamar. Really capped off what's been a really, I'd say, an unbelievable year for yourself, or certainly last few weeks.
Do you know what you can get with that game is they were just running the ball, and they were running it very successfully while Lamar was there. Lamar gets injured, then they decide to start throwing the ball and putting Mitchell in the game more than Henry. Like
Snoop Huntley. Yeah, let's test him out.
You'd think that we'd keep Lamar doing the running and the throwing rather than letting Huntley do that, putting him in harm's way. That was something just very weird. I don't know if that was the game script. Harbaugh did say at halftime that their game script wouldn't change with Huntley being in there because he is a similar but not as talented quarterback as Lamar. So maybe Lamar could have got some points in the second half, but that's a big maybe. He went down injured again. He's got another injury. You're an absolute idiot if you don't get rid of him.
It's like he's got like so many injuries at this point. It'd be like quicker to name the body parts that aren't injured. Like he's just like everything in his body has been injured at one point or another.
Tough matchup against the Packers this week as well.
Like no guarantee to play. He could play, but yeah, it's a bit dire. Number 4, Josh Allen.
What?
On this list? Huh? Do you guys have much to say about
you know
this?
what? I think it's ridiculous getting rid of Josh Allen because his last 2 games are at home.
Yeah.
You know what? If his last 2 games were away, I would agree with this.
Fair enough.
I said last week on the pod, after not being here the week before, that he averaged 32.2 points in away games. He then scored that 48 against New England. He goes to Cleveland and scores 13.
Yeah.
That's shithouse.
Yeah.
Shithouse.
Myles Garrett terrorizing.
Excuse my language, but yeah, it's just Josh Allen cannot play away from Buffalo. But he's now versing Philly and the Jets in the last 2 weeks. I don't think they can get the AFC East. There is a chance, but if New England lose to the Jets and Miami in back-to-back weeks, then we deserve to lose the East. So I think he's going to absolutely ball out. I have the VC on him this week for sure. He's like definitely someone I'm going to be looking at for that. I know he's going up against Philly, but Philly still aren't the same team that they were last year. And he proved in week 1 as well, going up against Baltimore when he scored 77 points, that he can go well against good defenses. So
You're doing pretty well if you have enough trades to be trading him out.
Yeah, I agree.
I know he scored 13 last week, but that was easily his lowest score of the season. And before that, like, I know he had the 48, which is actually pretty good because obviously New England's pretty similar conditions to Buffalo. But then 75 against Cincy the week before that. Like, they're on the way to the playoffs.
Yeah,
he has to play well. They scraped through against Cleveland, but I don't know. I feel like against the Eagles at home, he's a pretty safe choice to have in your team. So I wouldn't be trading him out.
He's going to be the top scoring quarterback this week.
I like it.
Like he's going to be the top scoring quarterback this week. There's some absolutely rank matchups, but I just think he's at home. He's just come off that sort of game. This will be the game where he gets 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns, or 2 or 3 passing touchdowns.
The only quarterback I reckon that could outscore him is Trevor Lawrence against the Colts. Colts got absolutely torn to shreds by Purdy today, and Trevor Lawrence is on a tear.
Yeah. The Colts defense in some serious strife there. Another guy on this list, JJ McCarthy. So he left that game that they had on the weekend. Midway through, he's got a hand injury.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah, they're saying.
Yeah, considering you have to throw the ball.
Not normally
really
not normally your favorite thing to injure, unless maybe you're Herbert and you can just like play through it somehow on the opposite hand. But
there's going to be a couple of lonely nights for JJ.
Yeah. And anyway, short week for them as well. They play Christmas Day. US time up against Detroit.
You've nailed it there, Funky. That's my biggest concern, is that he's got a hand injury where he couldn't return, and they've got a crucial game against Detroit on a short turnaround. Like, it doesn't really bode well, does it? Particularly for someone who decided to keep JJ for the rest of the year and bring in someone else. And then he goes and gets injured. That's 2 QBs in 2 weeks. All I'll say is you're welcome to anyone who owns Matt Stafford that I didn't bring him in because he would have gone out with an injury. I just think If he's injured and if you have if you've got another quarterback, if you've got 3 playable quarterbacks, JJ should be on your bench. But if you don't, get rid of him if you can, if he's not playing. But if he is playing, I think you need to keep him if you don't have those trades.
There's a few other QBs just to round out this list. Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders. Where do you guys stand on those two guys?
Well, Jackson had one of the great scores of 1 this week, which is really, really disappointing. You know what? I said I wouldn't be looking at bringing Jackson back. I definitely wouldn't be. If I was an owner, though, when I've got games against Vegas and Dallas to end the year, 2 teams who aren't in playoff contention, 2 teams who have struggled a bit with defense this year, particularly Vegas. Dallas has got a lot better in the second half of the season. I don't think it's worth wasting a trade.
Surely these guys are... Surely these guys are on your bench, though. There wouldn't be many people starting Dart, starting McCarthy, starting Sanders. If you got these guys on your bench this late in the season, just leave them there. It's not going to do any... It's not going to harm you.
Do you know how many passing yards Jackson Dart had this week?
Sweet.
It's negative or something. It's 20 maybe.
33.
Not good.
What about Shedeur?
I'd rather Dart over Shedeur.
I just wouldn't be trading him out.
If you're starting these guys, you're in strife anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Unless you got a few trades left and you nothing out one of these guys to bring someone else in.
But most people, I would say at this point, have Josh Allen and Drake May, or Josh Allen and Matt Stafford, or Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence.
Or if you're a mega genius like me, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Funky, is most people aren't fucking stupid like you. Excuse my language. But if you've got a Josh Allen Stafford, Josh Allen May, Josh Allen Trevor Lawrence, or any of those 4 quarterbacks in whatever combination, and then you have a JJ, or you've got a Jackson Dart, or you've got a Shedeur Sanders on your bench, there's probably no point in trading them out, is what Eda was saying before.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no point in using a trade on someone that you're not going to be playing. So you're better off saving that trade or looking at another position where you think you could improve.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's worth... is trading JJ McCarthy, if you've got 2 trades left, to gain an extra $4 million to bring in someone, is that really what you want?
I've got him on my bench and I won't be trading him. He can just sit there and rot.
Yeah. Same for me. Another guy that people definitely won't be playing on the run home is Quinshon Judkins. He had a pretty gruesome, broken leg, dislocated ankle.
Do you still have him?
No, I don't. No, definitely not. He was gone a long time ago. But yeah, Quinshon Judkins, pretty gruesome injury. He's definitely not playing the rest of the season. So if you've got him and you've got the trades left and have someone to trade him to, maybe you can get rid of him because he's not going to be playing for you. Someone that guys might be playing in the run home, Javonte Williams. I played him this week, scored 9 points, was terrible. I don't think I've got the trades to get rid of a guy like him. I just don't think I have them left.
I wouldn't, but also I think Javonte would be a hold personally. So
in the top 10% of the coaches ranked in the top 10%, he's actually the 6th most traded out.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Which is very interesting. 3% of people have done that. But he played against a Chargers team that has been very staunch against the run.
Yeah.
Washington Giants next 2 weeks.
And that's what I mean. Javonte's got Washington and the Giants. You have to have a look at... I think for these last 2 weeks, if you've got trades, they have to be impactful.
Yep.
I think Javonte Williams, if you have a look at his run home, and you need to do this with all of your players, have a look at who they're versing and how those teams have gone in previous weeks. Pretty sure Washington just got dusted. Yeah, they did a bit.
It would be vintage Dallas Cowboys to be eliminated from the playoffs and then win these last 2 games by a lot. And then, we're building momentum and then come into next season and then lose their first few.
Just for a bit of perspective, Saquon Barkley, who's obviously a far superior running back, but hasn't been playing that well this year, to Javonte Williams. He scored 42 points against the Commanders on the weekend. And then someone else, and then who else? The Giants played against the Vikings. Pretty low scoring affair. None of the running backs really did too well there. 20 points to Jones, and 3 points to Mason, who actually got injured. But that was just a terrible game, terrible team. I think Javonte Williams is a lot better. And definitely be keeping him. He's a possible flex option for me this week, to be perfectly honest. Like, I've got Gibbs at Minnesota, which could be a bit interesting. Jonathan Taylor at Jacksonville. I'm seriously considering swapping Williams and Taylor, just based off who they're playing, which is huge.
I said, what about another guy that coaches in the top 10 of trading out, Trayvon Henderson? So he left today's game with a head injury.
Yeah,
it was a bit weird because he just wasn't playing, and we didn't really hear anything about it for a while.
They still haven't really put anything out.
No, there's not very much reporting on it at this
sort of
point in time.
concussion-y.
Yeah, and if it's concussion, you won't play next week.
Yeah. So I think that's a more pressing issue. Like, and the thing is, when you got the Jets and the Dolphins the last 2 weeks, I doubt that you're going to be rushing him back or risking anything. And then he's also $2 million more than Javonte. So I'm personally, if I'm thinking of trading a running back, because I got both of them, it would be Travion.
Yeah. I think I had Travion as a sell the last couple of weeks anyway. And Stevenson came in and looked quite good.
He did. He played.
He played very well, and he did everything that Travion does. Like, going forward, obviously Travion's going to be the number one, and he is still the number one. But there's still competition there. And I think Stevenson scored 33 points this week. He's he's probably owned by 10 people, 406. He's averaged 16.6 points a game this year. Like, he hasn't really done anything. He's a serviceable running back. If he doesn't fumble the ball, he's awesome. I used to love him until he broke my heart with fumbles.
He will get a lot of opportunity this week.
Yeah. Like if Ramondre Stevenson is available, if Travion Henderson's not playing and you're looking for a random plug and play, like, Ramondre Stevenson would be great.
And the way the Pats play, there's every chance they get out to a lead against the Jets and then just run the ball.
Yeah.
How much
let
is
him
he?
tank over.
Ramondre.
That's a great question. Let me have a quick look. He wouldn't be that much, man.
No, he's probably lost a bit of coin.
Because he would have lost
9.3. Yeah. So he went up 1.3 million this week.
Yeah. Because he would have been one of the bell cows at the start of the season.
100%, yeah.
Now he's not. Last two people on this list, fellas.
Yeah, just quickly rip through them.
Tight ends, Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland. I think Phil Rivers had a great game today. I think he had a good game. But he's just not going to get that ball to Warren. Warren had some drops.
Yeah,
Warren's been a sell for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Since Daniel Jones started playing fairly average, you can actually see when you probably should have started looking at getting rid of Warren, and that's a Week 8 matchup against Tennessee, where I think the fracture in the leg was quite prominent for Daniel Jones, and then obviously he's gone with other injuries since then. But Tyler Warren should be out of your team by now. It's going to be hard to swap to other people, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's sort of hard though, because they're still trying to get him the ball. Like, he had 9 targets today. It's just that I just don't think that Rivers is really capable of getting him the ball.
He doesn't have enough power to hit him.
The way he throws the ball, it's like he's throwing a shot put.
The thing is, and we've been saying it for ages, I've also been saying it in my articles, Tyler Warren is very touchdown dependent.
Yeah.
So if we actually have a look at his statistics this year, let's have a look.
5, 6, 9 his last 3 weeks.
Gross. Yeah, so 5, 6, and 9. But if we have a look at how he went throughout the season, like to start the year, so he had a stretch where he had 3 touchdowns, and I think he's got 4 touchdowns on the year. But since Daniel Jones started getting injured, he's only been getting, 4, 5, sometimes double-digit targets. It's not looking good.
I've got him, and I just don't know. I don't know who to I should have got rid of him 3 weeks ago, but now I just don't know who to trade him for because he's only $7.5 million. So it's like I'm just sitting here, and my options like AJ Barner, it's grim.
Not bad.
Yeah. Another guy that has been traded out by a few people, Mekari Buka. I think at this point, you're getting nothing for him. Is 7.6. So unless you're in some grim situation, I'm just going to let him rot away on my bench. So I'm not really.
I think the big thing to take away from this is majority of these people we're talking about are ones that we spoke about weeks ago. Where we had concerns and you should have been looking at getting rid of them then. Buka, Baker's been cooked. They haven't been playing well since the first 6-7 weeks of the season. Colston Loveland, once again, not playing well. Just because I don't think you should own any Chicago people at all on your team. You just don't know who's going to get them. I was talking to a long-time podcast friend, Jack Cronin, the other day about his draft league, and he gave up on DJ Moore and got rid of him 2 weeks ago because he was put up, I think it was a combined 4 points in 3 weeks, and then he's gone for 20 points and 24 points, which would be, I think, in the SC world, 40 and 48.
Yeah, he still beat me this week.
And
Jack
he's done
Cronin.
absolutely nothing. Yeah, not too difficult from what I hear.
I'm now in the toilet bowl next week in that draft league.
Right,
So
mate. Toilet bowls are good to be in. But yeah, mate, it's just, I don't think you should have any Chicago people. If you're a Loveland person, get rid of him. He's sitting at 9.19. I think there are a couple of options who, if I just, before we get into our little ad, there's not many tight ends that are on the bought list in the buy-ins, but if you're someone that owns a Warren or you own a Colston Loveland and you're trying to look at a little bit of a difference, there's someone that Funky had at the start of the year who I've liked in draft leagues in Brenton Strange at 7.9.
I didn't have him.
Didn't you like him at the start of the year?
I think I might have said right at the very start of the year, like maybe pre-season. It was like him, like Tucker Craft, I think, like the Smokies.
Yeah,
and
you
didn't.
No, I didn't get either of them in.
So I like Brenton Strange at the start of the year as well. I think he's someone that I'd be looking at for a straight swap if I had trades. The big thing there is if. Otherwise, yeah, you're pretty screwed. The only other one would probably be like a Juwan Johnson or a Taysom Hill. Who Taysom does? Taysom, you never really know.
Threw for a touchdown, I think, this week.
Yeah, he actually
don't worry
had a
about
good
Taysom,
game, but I wouldn't be going near him.
Juwan Johnson might be the only other one I'd be looking at.
Taysom Hill's also like 1,000 years old. He might be as old as Phil Rivers, 35.
That's it.
Feels like he's as old as Phil Rivers.
That's the outs.
Alrighty. Before we get into our straight options, captaincy calls, Christmas wishes, all the rest, we've got to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Sash Legal.
Yeah, mate, think of him like your set and forget captain in the courtroom. No DMPs, no dub picks, just straight wins.
Exactly. When it comes to disputes and litigation, Sash Legal is like locking in a premium QB1 as captain. No wasted trades. They don't loophole arguments. They just rack up points week after week.
And let's be real, in Supercoach, we all make rookie mistakes at some point. But in law, you don't want that. Sasha Legal is the premium pick, the pod that always delivers.
Your case is their Super Bowl. Every move counts, and Sash Legal plays the full 80 or the full 4 quarters if you're thinking NFL.
So if you need serious legal muscle off the field, lock them in. Sasha Legal is your captain's choice for litigation. They have offices in Sydney and Brisbane, but it doesn't matter where you're based. Reach out and they can look after you. To do so, flick them a message on Instagram at sasha.legal or call them on 0731852404 or email at info@sashalegal.com.au.
Awesome stuff, Clutzy. Moving on to the ins. The biggest in this week, both overall and for the top 10%, Matthew Stafford. That was an awesome game to kick off the week. But yeah, Matt Stafford, he's got to be the MVP favourite, and he's racking them up in Supercoach.
Yeah, look, Captain Hindsight is really smacking me in the back of the head at the moment. I was going to trade Pat Mahomes for Stafford last week. But then I've sort of figured I'd probably have a better run of... a combination of Trey McBride and JJ McCarthy would probably get more points than a combination of Stafford and Bowers. How wrong I was. Just silly decisions for me. But if I could, I would be going for Matt Stafford. He's in unbelievable form. My only concern has sort of gone out the window.
Yeah, because they lost.
Because they lost, I thought he might get rested against Arizona. But I think he's going to play the last 2 weeks. They're just going to try and build momentum. And I dead set think the Rams are the Super Bowl favourites at the moment, despite that loss. It's going to be very hard to stop them.
The only thing would be if they lock in that 5 seed. If they can't beat... Right, we need to get standings up here. Actually, that's right. They got the 49ers to contend with now as well. So, okay, never mind. Don't worry about that. Yeah, so they're almost guaranteed to be having to play for.
I almost prefer. I've been going on about it. I reckon Trevor Lawrence is a better buy-in than Stafford this week. Oof. If you look at their run home, they got Indy and Tennessee coming up, and they are playing so well.
Yeah.
But again, he's $26 million now. Trevor Lawrence. He is very expensive. So
is the juice worth the squeeze?
I mean, it depends if you got the money. It was probably the time to buy was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. But I think he's going to have a big last couple of weeks. I certainly can't afford him. It's all about the money for these quarterbacks to me, I think, because Stafford's a couple of million less and you got Drake Maye back at 21 million, couple more million less. It's just, I guess, what you can afford. I think all three are going to score you points on the run home.
54 a game over his last 5 is pretty crazy.
Who, Lawrence?
Yeah. -7 break even as well.
Dude, his 3-week average 62.7. It's crazy.
Yeah. It is pretty crazy.
He's had like 10 touchdowns last 2 games. I think he had 4 against Denver. So
he scored 38 against Indy in a game that they're going to be playing the same sort of team as well. And they're playing in Indianapolis.
I don't think that matters, mate. The Colts played at home today and they were awful. Bang average.
Yeah.
At least the defense was.
I personally would prefer Stafford over the next few weeks. I think
I would as well.
Stafford's got more weapons. I know Trevor has played the lights out the last couple of weeks, but I love Matt Stafford, and I just think they're going to be throwing the ball heaps. They don't really run it too much. And when you get Devontae Adams back and you've got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams to throw to.
What about Drake Maye against the Jets and the Dolphins?
I have a concern with Drake Maye as well. If we win next week and Buffalo win next week, I don't think he has to play the Miami game. And I
if
think
Buffalo loses,
we've got different records. So if we both win next week,
what if Buffalo win the last week and we lose?
I think we stay on top based off divisionals because I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. I don't know. I don't think I'd be once again. I wouldn't be bringing Drake in because of the second half stuff. Because I don't think this week he did well in the second half because he had to. But he's not going to be playing from. You assume he's not playing from behind against the Jets or the Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to have Quinn Ewers playing, so there's no way Quinn Ewers is going to put on a class against New England Patriots and the Jets because he's not that good. And the Jets aren't going to be doing the same thing either. So I just think New England's going to be in cruise control. We spoke about how Ramondre could be a good pickup because New England will get so far in front they'll just run.
The Dolphins looked so bad.
Yeah.
Like so bad. I saw how that game started and like immediately was like, all right, I don't need to watch this.
They just turn the ball over so much. Rookie, I don't even know if that quarterback is a rookie, but
he is. Yeah.
Also, Miami's coming up to Gillette. They don't play well when it's not like 32 degrees in Miami.
Yeah.
So
maybe when it's 32, 32 Fahrenheit might be a bit different for them, you know.
So if I was to rank who I'd be prioritising this week, I'd have Stafford as 1, Lawrence as 2, and Drake Maye as 3.
Yeah.
There is another 2 quarterbacks on the list here for the top 10% that people are bringing in. Quinn Ewers, I don't think you need to look at him because I think this is people freeing up cap space and have multiple trades. So they're not playing him, so don't look at him. The other one that's interesting is Joe Burrow. The last 2 games that he has are against Arizona and Cleveland. Now, Cleveland still do have a decent defense, and they just held Josh Allen to 13 points. I wouldn't be looking at Burrow personally.
No.
He looked like really rough, like really rough against Baltimore, and there was that stuff that I wouldn't have.
I can't get a read on him, mate.
There was that quote where it was like, no team would have won with me at QB today or whatever. And then all of a sudden this week, it might just speak to how bad the Dolphins were into how bad, the Dolphins are that he absolutely torched them. But
the other quarterback that is around about on these lists is Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Obviously he balled out today, but he's got Chicago next week. So he doesn't have the Colts.
I don't think I seriously think the 3 people you should be looking at, and there's no one else outside of it, are Stafford, Maye, and Lawrence.
Agreed.
Yeah. And then ranked in my personal ranking, Stafford, Lawrence, Maye.
I flipped the top 2, but that's the beauty of opinions. And I guess if you've got the money,
I was going to say, I think purely based on price, I go Maye ahead of Lawrence and just chance your hand that he plays in the last week.
I do think Stafford's underpriced. The fact that Lawrence is that much more expensive than Stafford to me doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
So, in terms of affordability, if you,
I think you're going to get the same production for $3 million less.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Yeah, that sums it up. The number 2 guy that's been traded in by a lot of people this week,
Clutzy's mate.
Yeah, Clutzy's mate. You've been high on him, Klutz. It's Chris Olave.
Yeah, he's someone I've been looking at all season and I never pulled the trigger on. If you have a look at his stats, there is a bit of a reason why. I did a bit of a write-up on him last week. He's been pretty much Mr. Consistent all season. He's had one single-digit score of 9. He scored in the teens a couple of times. Majority of the time, though, he's scoring in the 20s. Since week 10, though, against Carolina, it just seems like something's sort of clicked for them. He's gone 37, 23, 25, 9, 35, and 63. He's got games against Tennessee and Atlanta, who are both not very good defenses. And old mate Tyler isn't
Shuck's
playing
been good.
that badly.
Yeah.
And I think it's been tried and tested, and I've spoken about it a lot. I know Eden has as well in his articles. When you have a young quarterback and they find someone, and also when you're in a trash team, if you have someone who's good, you prioritize getting the ball to them and showcasing them, putting them in the spotlight, because you need your fans to have some sort of bright spark. Chris Olave was talked about as a possible trade rumor, all that sort of stuff. Once that's gone, they're playing him more. He's getting more ball. Chris Olave, definitely for the last 2 weeks. He's now gone into number 6 for the receivers on the year. I think he's definitely someone that I'd be looking at if I had trades. I think like a Rashee Rice to a Chris Olave is not a bad trade at all if you're one of the owners.
Another guy that's also like similar price and a lot of people getting in as well is George Pickens. You'd prioritise Olave ahead of Pickens?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like everyone was getting rid of Pickens for the last 3 weeks.
Pickens has been like up, down, up, down, up, down. And then all of a sudden has one good game, people are getting him back in. I think with Olave as well, the other thing is that Tyler Shuck, even though like the team might be tanking or whatever, like these players are still playing for spots. Like Shuck is playing for his to be the starter on the team next year.
Yeah.
So unless they were to sit him in the last week to try and, tank or whatever, like it's not like the players are going to tank on these bad teams as well. So that's always one thing to think about. So yeah, Olave has been really good. Like clearly found a good connection there with Shuck. And I think at that 15 million price point, probably the pick of the bunch this week. What about the other guy that's actually a similar price as well as Jamar Chase? If you didn't have Jamar Chase, would you be going Chase over Olave? Because I probably would if I didn't have Chase.
I think Chase always is going to have more upside, but
his high score against Arizona is 89.
Yeah.
This week.
Like that's awesome.
I like that, yeah.
They played him once and he scored 89. That's great. I honestly think it's a bit more difficult.
See, I'd just be bringing Jamar Chase.
Like I'd be bringing, I love Jamar Chase, so I probably would bring him in just based off him being a better wide receiver. But if you're thinking of like a bit of a difference and who they're playing and recent form, like if we have a look, Jamar Chase's 3-week average is 26.7 and 5-week of 23.6. Chris Olave is 35.7 for 3 weeks and 31 over the last 5. So
the other thing to keep in mind is that like 81% of top 10% have Chase already. So probably if you're if you're still playing and if you listen to this podcast, you probably have Jamar Chase. But if you don't, I don't know, up to you, whichever way.
If you don't, I'd be going Chase, but also Olave's not a bad option, and I think if you're looking for a wide receiver this week, Olave is your number 1 option.
Another wide receiver that's on this list, I don't think we really need to say too much about. Jackson Smith-Njigba has been balling out all year. If you don't have him for whatever reason, like surely just get him into your team.
Anyone who plays this semi-seriously has him.
He's owned by 98% of the top 10%. I want to know, I want to see the teams of the 2% of people that don't have him, to see like how they're in the top 10% without JSN, since he's been certainly like one of the MVPs of the season so far. Someone that is, I think, worth talking about a little bit more is George Kittle. There's been a bit of tight end discussion on this podcast over the last sort of few weeks. Kittle, good again today. Looked like he hurt himself at one point, but then was sort of
came back in and he was fine.
Came back in and was
fine. He's an absolute dog.
So yeah, he'll just sort of play through anything. Do you think Kittle is like, if you need to make that tight end trade, you reckon he's probably the pick of the bunch?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he hurt his ankle, but he'll get a needle and strap it up and stuff.
So
he's a great option.
Sorry, I was going to say, if we have a look at the tight end position in the last few weeks, statistically, based off average, Kyle Pitts is the number one over the last 3 weeks and 5 weeks for the averages. But I think that 80-point game has really stood him apart. I personally think George Kittle, who's number 2, is the number one over the last few weeks. Even with, you got like your Trey McBride down here, who's averaging 29. Trey had an off week with a single-digit score of 9, which is obviously very disappointing. But I just think they're coming into playoffs. They're red hot. Kittle is Purdy's safety blanket. And we saw today, look, he can absolutely tear people apart. He was just open all the time. And as soon as he's open, they throw him the ball. His last 5 games, he's gone 43, 21, 17, 37, and 42. Which is just consistently high.
McBride had a bad game, but he still scored 140 more points than the closest tight end.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's what says it all.
Which Kittle's been out for ages.
Kittle's only played 9 games.
Here's a fun one for you. So, yes, he's 140 above. If we have a look at averages on the season, George Kittle's played 6 less games and he's averaging 1.5 less points per game than Trey McBride.
I think another thing.
So if he's played all those other games and we go based off that, I would not be surprised if Kittle had the same amount, if not more points than Trey McBride if he played all 6 games.
Trey's about to break every record known to man for a tight end season.
But like George Kittle is not that far behind.
Yeah. And I think the other thing to keep in mind is like we're all banging on about how good Tucker Kraft was before he got injured, but George Kittle's averaging, I'm just looking at your screen there, Clutzies, George Kittle's averaging like more than 3 points a game, more than Kraft.
Yeah.
Who was awesome. He was the best tight end through those first sort of 8 or 9 weeks before he got hurt. So
Kittle's a freak, man. He scored, like, he hasn't scored single digits all year. He scored in the teens twice. Everything else is above 20. Like, that's awesome. That's what you want. When we talk about difference makers at the tight end position, like, he is a difference maker. Next year when we come around, I think him and McBride are going to be 2 of my first picks.
What about Brock Bowers? Where does he fit into that equation?
I don't care about Brock Bowers.
Just monitor it, though, because he said after the game it's going to be day by day because he's limping around. So,
yeah.
He'll
be right. He's an absolute dog. They need to win.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up there.
And Brock Bowers, he's number 10. He's just been in and out. Wait until they get a new quarterback is what I'll say with Bowers. He has really pissed me off this year.
He's been another one of these guys that's just been, as you said, sort of up and down, sort of hard to gauge week to week. I think just about everyone had him to start the year and then sort of sucked and then came back and was good and sucked again at times. Yeah. And then, as we mentioned before, Quinn Ewers, good enough option at $3.7 million if you're trading down or whatever you're doing.
I think Quinn Ewers, I just want to reiterate the point. Quinn Ewers is not being played by anyone, and he's the only reason why is because he's the cheapest quarterback.
100%.
Like, that's the only reason why he's bringing in. So don't bring him in if you're looking for someone to play.
He's the cheapest quarterback that will give you coverage on your bench as an auto emergency. If something happens to, if you got Josh Allen or whoever, and God forbid he gets injured first play of the game and doesn't score any points, then at least Ewers will score some points for you on the bench there as an auto emergency. So, out of the cheap options, he's probably the best one now that he's going to be probably starting out the rest of the year. Yeah. As we get into the festive season, boys, I just wanted to really get into the festive spirit with our one Christmas wish.
Yeah.
Boys... Who wants to go first? What's our, bring in the spirit of, in the season of cheer and all the joy that we've had playing Supercoach this year, what is our one Christmas wish for NFL Supercoach? Who wants to go first?
I would love Gibbs to score 80 plus on Boxing Day. I've got my feet up watching it with the VC on him. I would absolutely love that. That's my Christmas wish. And I do love watching him play. So I'd love for Detroit to go off and for him just to set up my weekend with like Puka did last weekend, and hopefully I can get into the top 500 by the end of the weekend.
Yeah. What about you, Klutzy?
That is lovely. Well, initially I was thinking JJ McCarthy to play, but my Christmas wish is to just stay above you. Good. That's my only Christmas wish. What's yours, mate?
I would like a few more trades, but I don't think that's going to happen. If I have my my one Christmas wish this year, it's for Lamar just to not let me down again. Just Lamar to be playable.
You're going to get so much coal in your sack. My God.
Oh, I'm going to be a sad boy watching Lamar play and score 5 points this week. But if he plays, my one Christmas wish is that Lamar scores maybe like 20 plus points. So, I'm not even asking that much. I'm not setting the bar high 80 points. I'm not asking for vintage Lamar. I'm just asking for the bare minimum. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
It'd still be more than double the amount of points he scored this week before he got injured. Like, just 20, please. Is that too much to ask, Mr. Jackson?
I think it might be.
Alrighty. Moving on to our trades.
Love this part.
Let's say hypothetically, Klutz, if you had one,
I'll give you a hypothetical.
If you had one trade to use this week, what would your trade be?
If I had one, I was going to say for my hypothetical, I would have gone Mahomes to Stafford and Rice to Olave. If I could only pick one of those, I'd probably go Mahomes to Stafford because you've got more of a chance of, obviously Mahomes is injured and I'd probably rather him play than whoever's on my bench. But you're going to get more points out of Stafford than what you would Olave. So, I think that would be my priority. Yeah. Obviously, it's not.
Shouldn't have thrown them all in the fire. How about you?
Mine's Warren to someone, and I just don't know who. Like, I'm just throwing darts around.
How much do you have in the bank?
Not enough. So I've got 7.6 mil if I trade Warren out. So I'm genuinely looking at like your AJ Barner, like those.
You know what? I don't think AJ Barner's a bad.
He's not that bad.
Play.
He's got Carolina this week, and they actually give up a fair few points to tight ends. I was looking at that earlier, so I actually might get him and hope he can repeat what he did last week. I'd be happy with 25. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he didn't have that bad start to the year. I don't.
No,
think.
It's just the tight end position. Like you look at all of these tight ends that aren't like the top 2 or 3, and the scores go like 3, 4, 25, 4, 5, 30. Like it's just like
if you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, it's so
Elijah Higgins.
We'll figure it out, mate.
He's I saw him.
No.
Can anyone pronounce that?
Yeah, Chigakonkwo.
Oh, my mistake. Look at you. He did well last week.
Is that the Titans guy?
Yeah, the Titans guy.
He did well last week.
Yeah.
Chigozie
Okonkwo.
No, they got big raps on him.
All right. Yeah.
These are the areas I'm playing in this weekend for my one trade. What about you, mate?
I'm going to be staying put at tight end. Warren, I'm so glad. I'm so glad they got Fannin in, who's just been like super, super playable the last few weeks. Otherwise, I've been dire straits there at tight end. I'm getting rid of Rice. I'm thinking Olave. I do have the cash though, where I could go to sort of any number of options. So if I trade out Rice, I've got 20.2 million to play with.
If you went back to Rice, do you have enough money to trade Jefferson or Igbuka for Olave?
Nah.
Sucked in.
Yeah, I'd have if I went. So if I go back to Rice, if I go with Booker out, then I'd have 10.6 to play with.
What wide receivers don't you have that are at the top?
It's a good question.
Hey, so you got 2 trades left and you're looking at getting rid of 2 receivers or just one?
I think just one. I think I'm just going to have to play Jefferson or Igbuka for the rest of the year because my other option, geez, how do I work this around?
I'd be trying to do anything to get rid of Lamar and bring in Olave and get rid of...
So if I go Rice to Olave, then if I trade out... Oh, God, what am I doing? Struggling with the Supercoach platform. There we go. So if I go Rice to Olave, I have one more trade, and then I can go Jackson and out, and I'll have 21.29 million. And
that's not enough. That's not enough for the Drake May, is it?
No, it's not. But he's in my flex, so I could go. In theory, anyone. I could go with Jalen Hurts. Jacoby Brissett. I could go James Cook.
James Cook's been killing it.
Bo Nix, Jackson Dart, Caleb, I don't want to go like Caleb Williams or anyone like that.
Dude, I don't hate Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts at the price. I had it penciled in earlier today when I was looking.
I had Hurts as a buy last week. He 38 points is still decent.
I just think he's so mid.
He is so mid, but at 19.4,
he is so mid, but he's also the 6th ranked quarterback on the year.
I think I've just got watching him turn the ball over twice on one play against the Chargers ingrained in my mind. But I think I'm just going to have to try and put that aside.
But the thing is, you have a look at who's next closest to him. I still prefer Jalen Hurts over Bo Nix, over Justin Herbert, over Caleb Williams.
Yeah, it drops off.
I prefer he is the best of the rest.
On the contrary,
with what you've got, he is the best of the rest, regardless of what you think.
He is. I agree. But in saying that, I'm also considering, because
he's an upgrade on Lamar.
He is definitely an upgrade on Lamar.
Okay, done.
But I'm also thinking, would my money be better spent in the very last week of the season when there'll inevitably be what happens if Pookie gets rested the last week of the season?
Cares?
I do.
You'll be ranked 2,500 then anyway. So.
Yeah.
I'm seriously considering just holding it for the last week of the season and then just trying to get whatever I can for whoever gets rested.
Yeah, I think we'll hold Lamar this week. Yep, do that.
And it'll score at least 20 points for me because that was my one Christmas wish. So there you go. Yeah, so I'm definitely going Rice to Olave. My only other option. Potentially Lamar to Hurts.
Awesome. Moving on.
Captaincy options for this week.
I've already said that I'm going to put the VC on Gibbs on he's got one of the earlier games, so hopefully he can go big. And then at the moment, I'm thinking of captaining Puka last game of the week, Tuesday. I think, but again,
I think he'll be a captaincy, a popular captaincy option this week.
Yeah, at this stage, I'm going to captain Puka and VC Mr. Allen. Josh Allen's playing at home, where he's averaging over 60 points. He's averaging, I think it's 66 points at home. So I'm very high on Allen this week.
Yeah.
If JJ McCarthy, my biggest issue here. Actually, yeah, I'm going to have JJ on my bench this week and captain a crippled Patrick Mahomes if Allen ends up playing, because I don't know how the old swoopy works, but hopefully JJ's points would count for my flex position, but who knows. But I think these are the two best options this week. I don't mind the Gibbs play DOS, but my issue is I don't really think anyone's been going well against Minnesota with the run.
And that is why I'm doing VC and not C.
Yeah. I'm going VC Allen, C Nakua, but I'm just looking. I realize I'm not sure if I actually have a way then of looping.
I don't think you do.
Nah. So I may have to go VC, like someone that plays earlier in the week, and then potentially. Oh, geez. Then I've got a very tough decision whether I C Allen or C Nakua. Probably just in terms of just the level of confidence I have, I'm probably in that situation just captain Josh Allen then. I just realised that's rocked me a little bit.
Oh shit, I can't loop Mahomes because he's playing on Boxing Day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Because I've got my loop at receiver is that Nuffy from the Broncos, and they play Boxing Day Australian time. So maybe I'll VC Lamar.
Oh God,
not happening. Possibly. Actually, another option is if I went possible VC JSN in the early window, and then figured out a way to loop that way potentially with. That might not work either.
That's
anyway,
all right. That's something you do at home.
Plenty of options this week because there's plenty of early games.
Yes, so. and getting onto that point, make sure that you're having a look at your lineup before Sunday night, because there's games on. There's 3 Christmas games, which are all Boxing Day Australian time. 2 more games on Sunday morning, and then your normal sort of Monday, Tuesday slate. So make sure that you're checking your teams, checking your lineup, getting that all sorted for the rest of the season. And we'll have that as well the next week, as well as all sorts of weird games and weird times. So make sure that you're staying across all that stuff, and make sure that you're staying across your feed as well for the podcast coming to you each and every week throughout the rest of the season. We'll see you after Christmas, and have a Merry Christmas, everyone.